English and Grow podcast.
Welcome back to Learn English and Grow. I'm Emma, and I'm so glad you're here for part 2 of The Power of Positive Thinking.
And I'm Leo. In our last episode, we covered lessons 1 to 10, believing in yourself, finding peace, facing fear, creating happiness, and more.
Yes, and today we continue with lessons 11 to 20. These lessons are just as powerful. They include forgiveness, calmness, healing, relationships, and purpose.
So get ready. More life lessons, more English practice, and of course, more fun. Let's dive in.
Lesson 11 is stop holding grudges. When you hold anger, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Wow, that's a strong picture. The book says forgiveness isn't for the other person, it's for you.
Exactly. A man didn't speak to his brother for 12 years because of an insult. Then he read this line, "Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace." He called his brother, they cried, and they healed.
Action tip. Close your eyes, think of someone who hurt you, and whisper, "I forgive you. I choose peace." You don't have to tell them, you just need to free yourself.
English phrase to remember, forgiveness brings freedom. Lesson 12 is live a controlled and relaxed life. Many people rush all the time, eat fast, talk fast, work fast. But the truth is, rushing doesn't bring success. Focus does.
Yeah, I used to think being busy meant being important. Always running, always checking my phone, always saying I don't have time. But honestly, I was just stressed and tired.
Yes, exactly. Slow doesn't mean lazy, it means smart. The book tells the story of Daniel, a CEO. He was always in meetings, calls, and emails. One day, his doctor warned him, "Your heart is in danger. You need to slow down."
So, what did Daniel do?
He changed his routine. He woke up earlier to enjoy breakfast with his daughter. He stopped checking his phone after 8 p.m. Every evening, he walked in the park. No phone, just the sound of trees. 6 months later, he was healthier, happier, and more productive.
Wow. So he didn't do less, he just did things better with more focus.
Yes, that's the key. Controlled and relaxed doesn't mean weak. It means wise.
Okay, so what can our listeners try?
Action tip. Create a morning routine that isn't rushed. Eat slowly, talk slowly, breathe deeply, and say no to things that aren't necessary.
I like that. Maybe tomorrow, instead of rushing my coffee, I'll actually taste it.
Good idea.
Phrase practice time. Relaxed is strong. Repeat after me. Relaxed is strong.
Perfect. That's lesson 12. Lesson 13 is stay calm in every situation. Life is unpredictable. Plans break, people disappoint us, problems appear. But the difference between weak and strong people is simple. The weak react and panic, the strong stay calm.
That reminds me of myself last week. I spilled coffee on my laptop and almost screamed. I was panicking, pressing all the keys, shaking it like a crazy person. Spoiler, that didn't help.
I can imagine. See, panic never fixes the problem. Calmness gives you clarity.
The book gives a powerful example of a young pilot. One of his engines failed mid-flight. Passengers screamed, the crew panicked. But the pilot said to himself, "Panic won't save anyone. My calmness is their survival." He stayed calm, followed protocol, and landed safely.
Yes, and when reporters asked him, "Weren't you scared?" he said, "Of course, but fear doesn't fix a crisis. Clarity does."
That's amazing. So basically, calmness is like a superpower.
Exactly. So here's an action tip. The next time you're angry or stressed, don't react immediately. Stay silent for 10 seconds. Take a deep breath, then ask yourself, what's the wisest thing I can do right now?
I like that. 10 seconds of silence might save me from saying something I regret.
Yes, it can save relationships too.
Okay, listeners, phrase practice time. Repeat after me. Calm is my power.
Perfect. That's lesson 13. Next, lesson 14 is believe in healing power. The book says your mind can actually help your body heal. Science has shown again and again that hope, peace, and positive thoughts can support physical recovery.
That sounds almost like magic. Are you saying I can just think away a cold?
Not exactly. Of course, we still need doctors and medicine, but your mindset makes a huge difference. For example, the book shares the story of Susan, a woman with cancer. Doctors said she might not survive more than a year.
Oh no, that's heartbreaking.
Yes, but instead of falling into fear, Susan filled her days with peace and positivity. She listened to calming music every morning, smiled in the mirror, and repeated, "My body is healing. My cells are strong." She also helped others in the hospital, reading books to children, supporting elderly patients.
So she focused on kindness and strength instead of sickness.
Exactly. A year later, her reports were better than doctors expected. Her cancer didn't just stop, it started to reverse.
Wow, that's powerful.
Another story is about a boy who broke his spine in a car accident. Doctors said he would never walk again, but he refused to believe it. For 2 years, he trained his body and, more importantly, his mind. He visualized himself walking, running, even dancing. Today, he runs marathons.
That's incredible. So the lesson is clear. Our thoughts don't replace medicine, but they can give our body the strength to heal.
Yes, here's an action tip. Every morning and night, close your eyes and say, "My body is healing. I am getting stronger. I am filled with life."
Okay, listeners, let's practice today's phrase together. Hope heals. Repeat after me. Hope heals.
Beautiful. That's lesson 14. Next, lesson 15 is build strong personal relationships. No one succeeds alone. We all need connection, love, and support.
Yeah, because what's the point of success if you have no one to share it with? Imagine winning the lottery and then eating instant noodles alone every night. Not fun.
True. The book gives a story of a couple married for 15 years. They had stopped talking, laughing, and spending time together. The husband decided to make one small change. Every morning before leaving for work, he kissed his wife's hand and said, "Thank you for being with me."
That's sweet. Did it work?
At first, she didn't react, but he kept doing it. After 3 weeks, she smiled. After 2 months, they started talking again. After 6 months, they renewed their vows. Their marriage was saved not by money or therapy, but by patience and kindness.
Wow, that shows how little actions, done consistently, can repair even broken relationships.
Exactly. Another story is about a father who was always stressed and never smiled at his kids. One day, his young son asked, "Dad, why don't you smile when you see me?" That question broke his heart. From that day on, he made time, just 15 minutes a day, to play and talk with his children. Their bond became unbreakable.
That's powerful. Sometimes people don't need gifts or money, they just need our time and attention.
Yes. Action tip. Every day, call or message one person just to appreciate them. Say thank you. Hug more, judge less.
Okay, listeners, let's practice today's phrase together. Love makes life rich. Repeat after me. Love makes life rich.
Perfect. That's lesson 15. Next one is lesson 16. Make the power of faith work for you. Faith isn't just about believing, it's about believing with action.
So it's not like sitting on the couch saying, "I believe pizza will appear," and then waiting.
No, that's just hunger, not faith. Real faith means trusting that something good will happen and taking steps forward.
The book tells the story of a man who lost his job. For 6 months, nobody called him back. His savings were gone, his wife was pregnant, and he was ready to give up.
But every morning, he still wore his suit, carried his folder, and said to himself, I don't know who will hire me, but I believe someone will.
And here's the amazing part. One day at a bus stop, he helped an old man carry groceries. That man turned out to be a CEO. They talked, the CEO liked his honesty, and he offered him a job even better than his last one.
That wasn't just luck. That was faith in action.
Yes, and here's another story. A girl wanted to study abroad, but had no money. Everyone said it was impossible, but she had faith. She applied for 30 scholarships, wrote emails every day, and kept believing. On the 31st application, she got a full scholarship.
And now she's a professor, teaching others to believe in their dreams. That's the power of faith. It pushes you forward when everything looks dark.
So here's an action tip for our listeners. Every morning, say, I don't know how, but I believe it will happen. Then take even one small action toward your goal.
Okay, phrase practice time. Repeat after me. Faith moves me forward.
Nice. That's lesson 16.
Lesson 17 is stop trying to please everyone. Many people feel tired not because they're doing too much, but because they're doing too much for others and not enough for themselves.
Ouch. That hits hard. I remember saying yes to every request. Help with projects, extra work, favors, just so people would like me. But in the end, I was exhausted and unhappy.
Exactly. Pleasing people often means betraying yourself. The book shares the story of Clara. She was always the nice one. She stayed silent when friends used her, worked a job she hated to make her parents proud, and even agreed to a marriage she didn't want.
That sounds heavy.
One night, she looked in the mirror and asked, "Why does everyone love me, but I don't love myself?" That night, she wrote a letter to herself that said, "From now on, I will protect you." She said no to the marriage, quit her job, and applied to study music, her childhood dream.
Wow, I bet a lot of listeners can relate to that. Sometimes you need the courage to disappoint others so you don't disappoint yourself.
Exactly. Action tip. Before saying yes, pause and ask yourself, if I say yes to them, am I saying no to myself? If the answer is yes, choose yourself.
Okay, phrase practice time. Repeat after me. Respect yourself first.
Perfect. That's lesson 17. Now is lesson 18, fill your life with love. Success without love is empty. You can have money, fame, and power, but if there's no love, life feels cold.
Yeah, I've heard stories of rich people living in big houses but feeling completely alone. Love is what makes life warm.
Exactly. And love isn't only about romance. It's in how you treat people, how you forgive, how you help, how you smile. Even small acts can make a huge impact.
The book gives a beautiful example. There was a boy with Down syndrome. His classmates ignored him every day, but one girl sat with him at lunch. She shared her food, asked about his day, and smiled. She thought it was nothing big.
10 years later, the boy wrote her a message. "Your kindness saved me. I wanted to give up, but you made me feel seen." That's the power of love.
Wow, that gave me chills. Just one small act of love can actually change a life.
Yes. So here's an action tip. Say I love you more often to your family. Help someone without expecting anything back. And say something kind to a stranger every day.
Okay, let's practice today's phrase together. Love is never wasted. Repeat after me. Love is never wasted.
Perfect. That's lesson 18. Lesson 19 is don't give up. You're closer than you think. Many people quit one step before success.
Yeah, it's like digging for treasure, stopping when you're tired, and then the next person finds gold just 3 feet deeper.
Exactly. The book tells the story of a gold miner who worked for 5 years. He got tired, saw no results, and sold his land. The next person dug just a little more and struck gold.
Ouch, that must hurt.
Another story is about J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. She sent her first book to 22 publishers. Every single one rejected her.
Wow, if she had given up after rejection number 22, the world would never have Harry Potter.
Yes, but she tried one more time. The 23rd publisher said yes. That one yes changed everything.
So the lesson is clear. Don't let rejection or failure kill your dream. Sometimes success is just around the corner.
Action tip. When you feel like quitting, ask yourself, why did I start? And imagine your future self thanking you for not giving up.
Okay, listeners, phrase practice time. Repeat after me. I've come too far to quit now.
Perfect. That's lesson 19. And now our final lesson, lesson 20. Live your life with power and purpose. You are not an accident. You were born for something bigger.
That's powerful. A lot of people just exist. They wake up, go to work, eat, sleep, repeat. But deep inside, they feel empty because they don't have a sense of purpose.
Exactly. The book tells the story of a man who worked at a call center. Every day, he repeated the same script over and over. One day he asked himself, is this why I was born? So he started volunteering on weekends, teaching poor kids English.
And what happened?
He discovered joy and meaning. Eventually, he opened a small school. It grew and grew. Today, over 2,000 students are learning there, all because he followed his purpose.
That's amazing. Even a simple job can feel powerful when you do it with love.
Yes, there's another story about a woman who worked in a hospital cleaning floors. Most people ignored her, but she smiled at every patient, sang while she cleaned, and silently prayed for the sick. When she retired, the staff made a video thanking her. They said, "You weren't just cleaning, you were healing."
Wow, that shows purpose isn't always about doing big things. Sometimes it's about doing small things with big love.
Exactly. Action tip. Every day, ask yourself, what can I do today that will matter tomorrow?
All right, listeners, phrase practice time. Repeat after me. Purpose gives me power.
Perfect. That's lesson 20 and the end of our journey through the power of positive thinking. And that's it. We've now covered all 20 lessons from The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale.
Wow, what a journey. From forgiveness and calmness to love, faith, and purpose, this book really gives us a roadmap for living stronger and happier.
Yes, and remember, these aren't just ideas, they're practices. Start small. Say thank you more often, forgive someone, or simply take a deep breath before reacting. Step by step, positive thinking becomes a lifestyle.
And don't forget, you can replay these episodes anytime to practice your English and refresh your mindset. That way, you grow in language and in life at the same time.
We'd love to hear from you. Which lesson from today touched your heart the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them all.
And make sure to subscribe to Learn English and Grow for more book summaries, life lessons, and simple English practice.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, the power of positive thinking is already inside you.
Take care, stay positive, and see you in the next episode.